Well, you coming? Are you ready for the magical trip on the Polar Express? Sounds to me like this is your crucial year. If I were you, I would think about climbing on board. Because today, we are going to look into more of the mysteries behind one of my favorite Christmas films. Hello, I'm Isaac from Watso Videos, where we discuss fun topics for fun people, and today we are going to attempt to determine whether the story in the Polar Express is a dream or reality. If you'd like to theorize on this film yourself or just enjoy it this holiday season like I am, then make sure to check out the links to the film and storybook in the description. If you haven't seen the Polar Express in a while, here's a quick recap. The story follows a young, unnamed boy, merely referred to in the credits as Hero Boy, who is skeptical of the existence of Santa Claus. On Christmas Eve, he goes to sleep, pondering his belief, and only awakens to the sound of a locomotive coming down his suburban street. Our hero journeys to the train, learns it is known as the Polar Express, and gets aboard when he discovers it can take him to the North Pole. After meeting new friends and experiencing an exciting journey, our hero boy finally gets the chance to meet Santa Claus, and for the first time in his life, he can hear the bells of Santa's sleigh, a luxury only available to those who truly believe. Santa then chooses the boy to have the first present of Christmas, where he requests one of his bells to remember his trip and discovery. Even when he returns home, our hero never stops hearing that bell. It's a wonderful tale filled with many layers, but the mystery we are trying to undo today is whether the adventure the hero boy experiences is really a dream. Now, I wish it was a black and white answer, but oh, it's not. The beginning of the pondering on the state of reality the hero boy experienced is actually derived from the hero boy's own doubts on the adventure he is on. When he is on top of the train looking for the hero girl, our hero asks the hobo he meets,
"We're all really going to the North Pole, aren't we?
Aren't we?
Are you saying that this is all just a dream?"
When the hero boy attempts to understand the Polar Express and the events that are happening around him, he questions his reality, unsure whether to believe anything he experiences is real. And he has good reason to feel this way. It almost seems that for every piece of evidence to suggest the Polar Express existed within the hero boy's mind, there simultaneously exists evidence to completely rattle that notion. There are many instances in the story that could be explained by either magic or the Polar Express taking place in a dream, like aspects of the train like the hot chocolate musical number, the aurora borealis forming into Christmas shapes, and visiting the North Pole. But there are some stronger pieces of evidence for both explanations. One way the story seems to hint at being a dream is because of an aspect described by Robert Zemeckis, the director of the film.
The characters that are on this journey with him are characters that are kind of memories from his real life.
Yes, indeed.
The majority of the primary roles of characters in the story were actually all done by Tom Hanks through motion capture, allowing him to bring to life the hero boy, the boy's father, the boy as an adult, the conductor, the hobo, and Santa Claus. Although it seems kind of funny to cast so many roles to one person as if it was kind of like a one-man play, this decision to fabricate all of these characters by one individual is a deliberate artistic choice, which I actually made a whole video about last Christmas, which I will link below. The boy on the Polar Express is posed with this journey to determine whether he will remain a believer in the magic of Christmas. Either the boy must learn to believe in Christmas or reject the magic he once held so dear. To easily see the conflict he feels throughout the film, the people who guide him possess other characters who foil their beliefs. All of Tom Hanks' characters possess a foil. This means there are characters who possess opposite characteristics. To identify the pairs of characters who are opposite to one another, the creators of the Polar Express also added similar characteristics to the characters so the viewers could notice their opposing ideas more easily. First, let's look at the boy's father and Santa Claus. They are both men who wear red on both of their appearances and attempt to spread Christmas cheer by gifting presents to children. The reason these characters are foils is because the boy's father believes Christmas magic doesn't exist, while Father Christmas is the embodiment of the commercialized Christmas magic. Then we have the conductor and the hobo, who are even better examples of characters who foil one another. Both characters travel to the North Pole frequently on their Polar Express. They both protect the boy, whether it be from falling off the back of the train going uphill or falling off the front going downhill on Glacier Gulch. And when they meet the boy, they both offer him a hot beverage. What sets them apart to indicate they are foils of one another is their ideology. The conductor believes in the Christmas spirit and Santa, while the hobo is cynical and resentful towards the idea of the North Pole. The hobo attempts to convince the boy seeing is believing, but even though he was going to see Santa, he still should not believe in the jolly man, for the hobo alludes to him being in a dream. The conductor, on the other hand, represents faith and belief. He tells the story of almost falling off the train, but being caught by a mysterious force, and was okay not knowing what kept him from completely falling off. The conductor is okay with unanswered questions. Unlike the hobo, who uses his magic to frighten the boy, the conductor spreads excitement for the Christmas season with hot chocolate and his golden tickets. The juxtaposition between the conductor and hobo and the visual and auditory similarity of all of the characters allows us to recognize the characters' conflict of beliefs which the boy is tasked to decipher. It is important to notice these characters are foils of one another because they all attempt to teach the boy their beliefs through the Polar Express. Each of Tom Hanks' roles are meant to question the boy and the audience on our belief in not only Santa Claus, but the reality of the adventure. Each one of the characters derives from memories from his real life, since they all have a similar appearance not only to each other, but also the hero's father and his future self. These characters are representations of what the boy could believe in and become, revealing his inner conflict, and if these individuals were actually derived from his memories, then that means that we must be experiencing the Polar Express within the hero's mind. Another way we are led to believe the hero boy is not experiencing our reality is through the motif of time. After feeling his research and even his parents do not support the existence of Santa Claus,
An end of the magic.
the hero falls asleep to the dimming sound of his clock, but when he awakens, the clock ticks no more. Halted at 5 minutes to midnight, while the world was transitioning from Christmas Eve to Christmas Day, the hero is constantly reminded by the manifestations from his memories of his limited time. The hero boy's time to believe is running out, first referenced by the conductor when the boy questions voyaging on the Polar Express.
Sounds to me like this is your crucial year. If I were you, I would think about climbing on board.
And the conductor's constant worrying over arriving to the North Pole on time alludes to the boy's internal worry on whether he will experience a Christmas day where he won't believe in the Christmas magic.
I've got a schedule to keep. Oh, we are on a very tight schedule.
Can be no Christmas without the Polar Express arriving on time.
But no matter how much time the story takes, the time always remains 11:55 p.m., which frustrates the know-it-all boy.
Hey, what gives? It was 5 minutes till midnight 4 minutes ago.
Exactly.
For this instance in time, the hero can wrestle with his belief, which makes the conductor exuberant when they arrive on time.
We made it with 5 minutes to spare. We made it.
But when the boy returns home, his time has run out. The clock is at midnight. He no longer has time to look to other individuals around him for advice and guidance. Our hero has to make the choice to believe, and once he has done that, we begin to hear the clock ticking again, and he seems to return to the reality we were familiar with. The halting of time and the dimming of the clock to symbolize his transition in and out of his adventure point to him experiencing his philosophical journey within his own mind. So far, it seems his time on the Polar Express may have only been a dream, for the characters he met act as representations of his struggle manifested from his memories, and his journey uses time as a reminder his time to believe is running out. And the final large piece of evidence to suggest everything was a dream is his robe. At the beginning of the story, when the hero boy hears the Polar Express approaching, he grabs his robe quickly, tearing it on his bedpost, but Christmas morning, with the excitement of the holiday, he grabs his robe quickly again and it rips again. If he had never really torn his robe before that morning, then his journey must have been a dream. That would be a logical conclusion until the hero boy opens up Santa's bell on Christmas morning with a note from Mr. C referencing the adventure he had just been on. Suddenly, all of the evidence pointing to him experiencing a dream feels thrown out and useless, and this kind of bothered me when I first really started to think about this. Don't get me wrong, I love the magic and mystery behind this film, but I was just frustrated everything didn't line up perfectly at first. The clock is ticking, his family is awake and active, it really is Christmas morning, and there in his hand is physical proof of his journey brought to him after he decided he truly believed, even though nothing felt like it was real. His parents couldn't have orchestrated giving him the bell. They seemed clueless about it.
What's this?
Could the magic of the Polar Express actually be bringing him to the North Pole in his mind? Or did he really go there? And when he returned and time started again, the world was just reset, except for his memories. If you are going off the facts, then yes, the majority of the evidence points to the Polar Express being a dream. And that is even how Robert Zemeckis describes this film.
And in sort of the tradition of the Wizard of Oz, where, you know, this is sort of a dream, if you will.
For me, though, I would like to believe the hero boy went to the North Pole, actually met Santa Claus, and experienced true magic along the way. But the evidence seems to support it was all just a dream, and I think this is done deliberately. Much like how the boy has his evidence to support the North Pole and Santa Claus couldn't possibly exist, we have all the evidence to suggest the boy's journey didn't exist, except for the one giant confliction. Our beliefs on the story are forever questioned, and the confusion that ensues from it was deliberately created. We aren't supposed to know the answer. With the bell's existence, we are forced to question the entire story, and like the hero boy, choose what we would like to believe. So now it's time for the question of the day, sponsored by my patrons. Do you think the Polar Express occurred in a dream? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, along with any other ideas you have for future videos. I have Christmas videos coming all next week, so if you'd like to stay up to date with new magical videos, then click that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, which you should also do because I have a daily giveaway going on this entire month on my social medias. Finally, to see more Watso videos, then check out some awesome pics over here. And thanks for watching, have a magical day, and Merry Christmas.
See ya.